NIS, and then the NIS would send that client the information they need for their computer session. There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, your legs are looking nice, Michelle.
Yeah.
Animals are dying in large numbers. Huge fish kills in the Ohio River.
Tell me that. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. You can see the background that we used to have is up and raring to go. We can see our little diner down there. That's the now it's the steakhouse that used to be Joe's Lunch. Then it became another business after Joe's Lunch. And then that's the background. That is in real time. Even though the camera's a little fuzzy, I have to be honest, the reason is because we are zoomed in quite a bit because this camera lens is only a 6mm. Gonna see if I can try to get a 12 or 25mm, but now it'll do. So first thing is, let's get these different things up here. Let's pin this message. And let's get the today's news in. And we're not going to forget about that, are we? No. First of all, today is going to be overcast. Chances of thunderstorms. Not really seeing any major nice warm weather or anything like that. It's just going to be crap. Okay. In fact, anything but the setup, you're going to be able to see the rain, I suppose. And on my headphones are all tangled up. We clean up the area behind the wiring cabinet. And it's better now. We had it before, it was really messy. And so we cleaned it up a bit so it looked better. And so the background, like I said, you can see the cars are driving by. You can see the greenery. There's one person pointed out in the sneak preview of the camera yesterday. He says, actually it was Ed who said, this fall, this is going to look wonderful. When the fall foliage comes, you're going to be able to see the fall foliage on camera. Yeah. So, let's see how that goes with the camera there. The only thing, I'll be honest, is it's not the best setup. It's not the worst setup. But don't forget, we have it zoomed in quite a bit, so it fills in the whole back screen, because otherwise it would have been kind of standard aspect ratio 4:3, and it would have been kind of noticeable. And that's why it's set the way it is, because it's well, let's take a look at this together. Because one as well, right? Let's take a look at this. So let me switch this over here, and I'm gonna switch over to Street Cam. It's actually called Street Cam 1, but let's just copy it over so you can see it. This is what it looks like without anything going on. And you can see that there's the cars are driving. Right now there's not much cars going on Main Street at this immediate point. It's pretty quiet. I mean, there is some cars, but they're not doing a lot right now. It's overcast. And so that's why it looks like it does. And it's just a nice change of view. Ladies with love tits. Yeah. Well, anyway, so that's the first thing. Next thing, of course, is today is Saturday. We're gonna try to wash some clothes. I'm gonna be able to wash the purple dress today because I got other dresses to wash today. But because of Kyle the bleach brat, I can't watch too much at one time because I can't put anything outside online, which kind of sucks. Really would love to be able to show things on the background. And the cable for this camera, I did some quick cursory tests on it this morning. Has a resistance of 2.2 ohms at 15.28 meters, which is atrociously bad. It's actually shares a center braid between the braid which is used for ground or earth is shared between the power and the video connectors. So it's really got 2-core cable with shield, and upon looking at the wire, it really is not designed for 75 ohm impedance at all. It's actually more of some cheap Chinesium wire you might find for maybe connecting your things to your stereo, or maybe your Walkman headphones to your computer. So it's not proper RG59 75 ohm impedance cable. I won't bore you with all the details. Just to say is it's working for now. Well, I have to hang dresses on the line to dry. And so it's the same problem. Kyle doesn't just go for the underwears. And we didn't get the other cam up to that yet. But probably might be do similar to this one. That is, take the other USB-C dongle, plug it into the computer, and then put the other camera in the rear in the window so that we can maybe mount the kitchen cam in the pantry window, same like I did this camera. Stan said maybe you might want to get some glass cleaner or some white vinegar and paper towels and wash the windows down so you can get a clear view of sight. It might be a good idea. Oh, he puts bleach on everything. He doesn't discriminate. He doesn't discriminate. He has destroyed towels. He's destroyed dresses. He has done a huge amount of damage to my clothes. That's one of the reasons why I don't have a lot of clothes left, because he pretty much trashed a lot of the other things I used to have. But then again, with my knee injury, a lot of the stuff that's still good is sitting in the bedroom closet, and I haven't really done much with that yet. I can go in there once in a while. It's just not to really do anything with. Let's get these weights out. Ugh. Okay, so I need to do grocery shopping, washing clothes, and wash my truck. I'm hoping it rains so I don't have to wash. Probably will be. So you might still want to put a coating of appropriate soap on the truck, so when the rain comes, it'll basically wash it for you. Or rinse it off anyway. Yeah, everybody liked the street cam. I didn't mind it either. I just, like I said, the problem with the street cam was just getting it set up because of the, everybody was saying to me, like, how are we going to put it up with Ed's train board where it was? Well, the train board is sort of still here. In fact, when he saw the way I mounted the camera in the end, he actually thought it was ingenious. He said, "That's kind of neat." You're welcome. Glad you like it, Savannah. I can kind of see the downtown Winstead. Granted, it's not the best focus shot in the world, but that's actually partially because I had to zoom the camera electronically instead of using optical zoom in quite a bit to fill up the background with a full 16 by 9. And don't forget the 640 by 360, you're going to see a loss anyway, so it's not like it's going to be a major, video green, because that's the nature of it. Let me take a look at it on my phone. I was happy to see it last night. It looks good too. I didn't get a chance to look at it today though. So let me take a quick look at it. Okay. Yeah. Shine.
Upgrade and customize starships with unique
Starship Krieger. Yeah, so it works fine. So now here's an interesting piece of news. For those of you who didn't know, Nikki Haley is in the race for the Republican Party for presidential candidate. Donald Trump has entered the race. Ron DeSantis has entered the race, just officially. And the meaning that now we're going to see more opportunities for us to have, more people entering into the race for the GOP to deal with, presidential candidates. Conversely, at the same time this year, you also have other people in the race as well. For example, in the Democratic side, we know of at least RFK Jr., Joe Biden, and I'm sure there are going to be other people running in for the Democrats as well. So this year, it's very possible that it will be a contested election for the primary for the Democrats. And Joe Biden stupidly thinks he's going to win it. Mr. Joe, or should I say, Mr. Prisoner Joe, you have demonstrated to the people of this country that you have done a lot of illegal things of high crimes and misdemeanors, and they're not misdemeanors. In fact, Marjorie Taylor Greene has filed articles of impeachment against Joe Biden and many of his top officials for the actions that have been committed by the Democratic Party in the last few years, especially since Joe Biden got in. So that's going to be interesting to see if her Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene's articles of impeachment are going to go to the House floor. I think they will, but I think what's going to happen is, of course, is that it's probably going to end up being dead on arrival in the Senate. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, with the situation with what's going on. So I really kind of wonder what's going to happen now with the situation, when the fact is that the Democrats are going to be finding themselves one day, looking out from in from the outside, when they see that their own party has done so much heinous crimes, I think that it's not surprising that there's a lot of Democrats, including Tulsi Gabbard, who said, I cannot remain a member of this party anymore because this party is not what I originally was part of. I think a lot of the Democrats feel that way. I don't think it's just a single Democratic view. So the first question is what's going to happen now when American people are not naive. They want to vote for the best candidate. But now that all the illicit and bad stuff keeps coming up, how GOP wants to... I have heard a lot about that, but then again, personally, they also want to get this budget back on track. Please understand, it's complicated. It's complicated because the situation in this country is not so simple. Legislation is never simple. They want able-bodied people to work. People who with disabilities, they want to protect them, but they want able-bodied people to work. You have to understand, personally, there's a lot of able-bodied people, and I mean able-bodied. I'm not talking about people with significant disabilities. They want people that can at least do a job to do a job. It's not that simple. Majority of the people on SSI, SSDI get less money already. Well below the poverty line. Joe Biden did not do anything for the American people to change that. In fact, Joe Biden has done the opposite. He's giving money to other countries. He's not giving money to the American people. It was the Republicans under Donald J. Trump that gave us all 3 stimulus checks. Yes, he gave us the 3rd one. Joe Biden just signed it into law because, well, he was in office at the time. Okay? But the thing is, that was really passed by the Republicans. Okay? So, what are you going to do? You know, this country is a mess. Somebody has to change. Well, last time the GOP took control, were we all miserable? No, we were doing better, actually. But like I told Ed, if you're talking about which party has less corruption, neither one of them is innocent of corruption. Neither one of them. You can go ahead and see a corruption in the Republican side and on the Democrat side. Okay? And part of the problem is that some of these people have been in office for so many years and decades, including Mitch McConnell, that there's absolutely no way that you cannot deny that Mitch McConnell is part of the corrupt aristocracy. Well, it does make sense, though. I'm sure he did, but he also achieved something that we haven't had in a long time. We have established peaceful agreements with other countries. Okay. And including North Korea. Only Trump sat down and, as of late, and said to Kim Jong-un, hey, look, I don't want to fight you. We just kind of want you to knock it off with your weapons business. I mean, because it's scaring everybody to death. Okay. Well, that's cool, Kristen. Glad your older daughter's coming to hang out at your house for the day. But I mean, what are you gonna do? Nothing in the world is perfect. Nothing. Sometimes you have to look at what's out there and pick the best choices that makes the most sense. Trump helped to stabilize so much of the Asia. Trump realized that China was a big problem. Whereas he basically put China on a short leash and did not want to see Taiwan be taken over by China. He realized that since the original agreement between the British Empire and the Chinese government for Taiwan means that when it became under the control of 1996, that China has a legal right to manage Taiwan, or Formosa, because originally it was called Formosa. But, well, so it is legally their responsibility. Hi, Vera, how you doing? Oh, I have been on YouTube for a while. Unless you're talking about the background. I've been offline for about 2 years. Yeah. So I don't know what the best solution is, but I'm just telling you is that we have a lot of things that we have to decide based on logical choices. And so if you're dealing with a situation like what's going on with all the crookedness that's going on with Biden administration, you gotta pick something that makes sense. That's the whole point I'm trying to say. Yeah. I mean, granted, maybe it's not the best focused in the world in the background because the camera in the rear is so cropped or blown up to fill up the full screen. It is a 16 by it's a 4:3 aspect ratio NTSC 950 TVL video camera. And because of that reason, to make it fill a 16:9 screen, I had to magnify the picture enough to fill the whole screen. Electronically, you could say it's like an optical zoom. But then again, given the fact that most of the time when you're watching on a cell phone, you really can't see much of it anyway. Well, that's fine personally, but there is one thing that the Director of Social Security has already pointed out. They don't have enough staff as it is to do a manual review of every single person on Social Security every 2 years. Means that his staff would have to be maybe those 75,000 or 87,000 new IRS agents would have to go to Social Security instead. Because that's a huge number of people to test. I mean, I passed the test. I mean, for a lot of reasons. But you're right. There is a lot of waste in the system. But manual reviews take a lot of manpower. And if there's not enough people to do them, you're not going to do them. Right. A lot of people say that about the camera view. It looks good. And by the way, yes, that's a live camera view. That's not a video. Oh, I could have simply done that, right? Could have recorded a whole bunch of background views using my webcam as a big giant file, and then just basically play that in an endless loop. But that's not what it is. This is a real deal, so. Well, that might be true, John, but don't forget, it doesn't pay enough money. It was supposed to work with your own pension plan that you had from your employer. And when it was created, the retirement age was 62 years old, because they figured that the average person might live to be about 65, 67, and then you're going to croak. Well, unfortunately, thanks to modern medicine and other things, it didn't stay that way. Modern medicine technology has made it possible for people to live to be 80s and 90s. Of course, by that time, your health starts to get kind of shaky, like a fiddler on a roof. But yeah, our system, our medicine encourages long life, but unfortunately added costs for the elderly. So therefore, it was a question if they should change the consumer price index for the elderly instead of using the CPIW, the consumer price index for workers. Right now, Social Security is based on CPIW, not CPIE. If they change the situation to match the reality for the seniors, we've actually been getting a lot less money than we should have been getting. Now, but at the same time, I'm putting something back in the system. Remember, we do these morning shows every 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. So I give back. I ask for donations, but that's about it. I don't really push the buttons that much. Okay. Now let's get some of the people on the panel right now. Let's get the panel up. Let's see. I see the point of view from several sides, but what are you honestly going to do? What are you honestly going to do? I hope to get back to that soon, too. Yeah, I hope to get back to that soon. By the way, this camera is set up the way it's connected up right now is a little bit of a crapshoot. It's not really the best setup. Hold on, I'm just getting up right with you. Gotta get you on the panel here. Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Did you sleep good?
Yeah, I did.
Good. Any cool dreams?
Yeah, I had some good dreams. The last
Really?
time, I didn't really remember much of them.
Yeah, me neither. My dreams weren't that good, but they were bad. But I dreamt.
Yeah, what are you dreaming about?
It was like mundane shit, like shopping or something, or waiting for something to occur. It was not as good as I hoped. Yesterday, I barely slept after making that Perry Mason porno video, and then I watched like the movie that I used like the source material from.
Right.
And I was hoping that I was gonna have like either a sexy dream or something sex related, if I can just be frank about it, but that did not occur.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes you
what
get
you
sexy.
want to try to do is lucid dreaming. That's what you've been trying to reach. Lucid.
Yes. Yes, Michelle. Exactly.
Right. Well, sometimes it doesn't always come that easy.
Not only did I stay up for a long period of time, way past what I should have, but I even drank, and I didn't get any lucid, sexy dreams. I got like mundane shit, like Asperger dreams almost.
Yeah.
You know, like.
What do you think about the background there?
I've told you, but Michelle, it was like whatever. I
liked it.
love it.
That's right.
I love it. You need to keep it going.
Yeah.
Please. We don't.
But for right
We don't
now,
need.
it's the power connections are a little bit janky at this point. Because we want to add some more cameras to the back porch too. If you look in OBS, you see it's called Street Cam 1. The back porch is going to probably be called Street Cam 2. And, but I haven't set up the back porch camera yet.
Alright, well, whatever. Don't worry about it. So, what's your plans for today?
I'm going to try to get some of my dresses washed and some underwears washed. The problem is the underwears are not a problem, you know, because I can just throw them into a standard bucket. But the dresses, I got to grab the wonder washer out of the storage and set that up, because they need to be agitated a bit. So that's what we're gonna do. The problem is we only have so much shower rod to hang things on, because we can't put stuff outside because of Kyle the bleach brat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to see you walking those forests in the back of your dress. Well, you know what?
We've been trying to get her to go check out the fucking forest and stuff. Why don't you do that today?
That's a hill, guys. But yes, Winston does have a cool situation over there behind the steakhouse there, yes.
Michelle, you don't literally have to go to that forest, you know. You can go to another one.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm going to get some things done today. Laundry is one of them. So, we're going to get some laundry in today. At least that's the goal anyway.
Yeah.
So, first thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and wash 8 pairs of underwear, hang them on the shower rod, and then when those are dry, take those down, set up the wonder washer, wash about 10 or 12 socks, hopefully try to get them all matched up ahead of time, put them in the washing machine, and then hang those up to dry. When those are dry, take those down, which usually takes about 2 days, and then I can wash maybe some of the dresses maybe in the middle of the week, and then hang those up on the shower rod. It's a slow process because you only have. Now, if Kyle Bleach Brat would stop bleaching my underwear.
Oh my god, how many times are we going to talk about this morning? I mean.
Well, I'm almost done.
The new people. Alright, thanks. Just making sure.
We could have used the additional room outside on the clothesline to hang some more of the clothes up.
Yeah. Well.
So, right now it's kind of warm in here, and unfortunately I don't really have many places to plug in a fan right now. Oh yeah, I do. Let me see if I can get my fan plugged in. I have to unplug my phone charger. Hold on a minute.
What is she doing right now, guys? I zoned out while she was talking to me.
Because remember, this computer throws a lot of heat. So,
Well, I won't forget.
it's, like I said, this computer throws a lot of heat out. You know. Well, no, they don't, because I keep them pretty clean anyway, but, there's a difference about reasonable bleaching versus insane bleaching. Now, I usually use oxygen bleach. Like Clorox too, because it's safer. Or I can use OxyClean to get the tough stains out.
You have a lot of tough stains in your panties?
No, I don't.
Well, then I don't know why you're talking about it.
So yeah, to answer some of your questions, Vera, I do hope to get back to the video game soon, as I said earlier. Maybe, as long as I can, get things done and feel like I'm working at a good pace, I can do a lot of things right now. That's the
When are you gonna get back on the Chatter Bay? I need some content for my next video. I'm all done with the Perry Mason, and now I'm like rednecks, and I don't know what's next, but you could be in a redneck video.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll think about it. So, anyway, where is Gidget?
Where is Gidgy? Where is Tiger Kitty? I know. Where's everybody else? She don't want to talk to me.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I did put out the notifications, so.
It is a Saturday. You gotta understand. It's the weekend. People like to either sleep in or they want to go out and do stuff.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't get that chance to sleep in that much. That's not until Sunday when I usually will sleep in a little bit. Okay.
Michelle, you can
Sprinkle
sleep
wants to
in
come
any
on
day
now.
you
Hold on a
want.
minute. Let's get Paul on
You
here.
can sleep in any day you want.
Go ahead, Paul.
And you've done it before, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Onward.
Is that all right?
Doing good. Oh yeah. How about you? I pulled an Ed, Michelle, and just stayed up all night and partied and pulled an Ed.
Really?
Yeah, hope you folks are having a great night tonight. Yeah.
Good night to you, buddy. How you doing?
I hope everyone's having a great evening tonight. And
Yeah.
doing
So,
good.
what do you
though,
think of the background, Paul?
Oh yeah, great, Michelle. I'm glad you got it back up. I think it's fantastic. Glad you got it back up.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I hope it stays. This is one background I hope you continue to use, Michelle.
It's
I'm sorry.
right now it's kind of a bit of a problem because I'm using all my main sockets to plug in all the cameras, but
All right.
I
That's
hope
great.
to set up a centralized 12-volt DC power supply for all the cameras so they can all be powered from a centralized power repository. And so I'm thinking about picking up a nice 12-volt at 10-amp power supply to run all the cameras. Make a nice, neat power distribution panel to run everything.
I mean, Skynet, I was talking about getting some content for his new video, Michelle. Maybe we can turn the background off for a bit with the green screen. You can grab some of Ed's beer cans, empty beer cans. We can get you, holding up some beer cans. You got
I want
the
nothing to
tobacco.
do with beer cans.
Well, like
You can
redneck.
hold up a beer can and your knife.
Yeah, or maybe you could even have a beer can, the knife through a beer can, like you're holding the knife with the
Savannah,
beer
what
can.
does you agree to 100%? Oh, let me
Michelle, for my video, I could use you chewing on some of your tobacco and spitting it out. This time you'll have to spit it, though, so I don't know how you feel about spitting it out.
Yeah, well,
Would you help me?
what's
Good idea.
that?
It's a good idea.
Michelle, one of my video ideas projects is Redneck Incorporated, right? So it's going to be a, hillbilly kind of stuff. Now, I was asking if maybe I could get some content of you, getting some chew tobacco, putting it in your mouth, chewing on it for a couple frames, and then spitting it out. Can you do that?
Yeah. Maybe walking around outside in your bare feet.
I don't really know if that's. I mean, that's kind of a dated view of your typical redneck.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for, Michelle. It's all about the aesthetic. You know what aesthetics are, right, Michelle?
Yeah. Aesthetics I get. My back porch is as redneck as you can get.
What if we found a like waving rebel flag background, Michelle, and we just put you in front of that, like a waving rebel flag?
Yeah, that'd be good. You got a trucker hat, Michelle? Can you?
Yeah, a trucker hat. Yeah.
A trucker hat.
Well, that's one of the reasons I do want to get back to driving the truck soon. That's what the main goal I was thinking about.
We can work with this guy now.
After I was riding with Krista, and she was saying she was,
that's the sad part. I would totally put Michelle in more content if Michelle worked with me just a little bit more, to get the content out. She works really well with Noodles. I don't know what it is about me. It's just not interested. Yeah.
So when Krista said to me
honest, right?
when we were driving for her in unfamiliar territory in Farmington, she said that she finds she doesn't know how to read maps that well at all. And so as the GPS was giving turn-by-turn directions, I said to Krista, actually, this is pretty easy. First of all,
move over. Let me take the wheel, Krista. I got that.
Well, I was the navigator. I was the one that was actually...
Hope you got no damage on.
Translating the GPS to actual points in the map so she would understand what that means. When they say, at the next light, turn a left, and she'd be like, there's no light here. It says, Chris, in about 250 feet.
Is it really that hard to follow GPS directions? I mean, it literally tells you what to do. I mean, it'll say turn right here in a quarter mile.
She never even learned cartography in high school.
Photography? I didn't either. I never had a photography class.
In other words, did you learn any map reading at all?
I think we did that in middle, like in elementary. I learned how to read a map in like elementary school, Michelle.
Yeah, well, it turns out that a lot of schools don't teach it anymore, and I'm like...
I mean, I believe Chris is older than me.
It's such an essential skill.
No, let's just be real. We don't know what the fuck schools are teaching, right?
Yeah, I haven't been to one in about 20 years.
I think Krista has a pretty good idea because she has her older kids went through the public
I don't think
school
Krista
system.
has an idea, even though she has a kid in school. No offense to Krista, I don't think any parent does.
Yeah, unless you're like
going. What your
school.
kids are learning, unless you're there.
Yeah, like unless you're learning the curriculum, Yeah. What'd you learn? What did everybody say when they went home? They were maybe having dinner with the family. What'd you learn in school today, honey? Nothing.
That's what
I always tell my mom. Nothing. Well, why are we sending you? I don't know. What'd you learn in school?
Sometimes the kids do learn some useful skills.
But I would always tell
But let's be honest, what is public schools really teaching? Say it's more social indoctrination.
I would always talk about PE or like playing outside and shit when they.
All right, Savannah's coming on. Hold on, man. Let's get her up there.
No.
Good morning, Savannah. How you doing?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Hi, everyone.
Good to hear you.
Oh, nice to hear you as well. But I love the street view, Michelle.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Street view back.
So much better than the regular backdrop, that you would normally design to choose.
You have to understand, it took us a while.
I agree as well. Strongly agree.
To get everything sorted out.
You never know what you're going to see. Like, we could see, like, a hot air balloon just land right there. Maybe an alien spaceship. We're doing two things at once.
Never know, yeah.
You can see it's overcast and clammy here. It's not sunny right now.
Yeah. but that's what I was agreeing in the chat with Paul whenever he said that he likes the street view better.
Yeah.
A lot of people do, including me.
But
actually.
you know what we can say though, Michelle, about today's curriculum in the schools is I heard that they're not even teaching kids cursive writing anymore. They don't teach.
That's
cursive.
true. They're not.
Really?
Penmanship is something that they're not teaching anymore. No.
How did like people sign their name or have signatures then? No one. I mean, you got to have a signature, right?
A lot of kids.
Is it just some schools or?
I'm not sure. I've heard that quite often, I've heard that quite often from people. Like they don't teach.
Well, my penmanship's atrocious. Have you ever seen it? It's nothing to be proud of. It's mostly a scrawl. So people really can't read it too well. So that's one of the reasons I usually write things in block letters. It makes it easier. That's not uncommon. Also, there's an interesting news article that came up, which is kind of really like, I already knew that kind of thing, which is that kids today, Generation Z American kids, are adopting a British accent.
Let's hope not.
Because they watch a lot of British TV shows.
Yeah, no, I've never heard any young kids in America talk like anyone from Britain. I mean,
a lot of them are actually
talk like Russians.
Most of them are like 20 years old, and they're using
I think it's
British
to be a Russian
terminology and words like that. But you know what? Here's the thing. This is not a new thing, guys. The article says that. In fact, now the same thing is happening in reverse in the UK. UK kids growing up in American TV
I did
are
see
using
the
American language and accents.
I did see that, but I don't know about the American people using a UK accent.
Unlike the French, the British people are not getting upset about it. The French used to get so mad when people were using English instead of French.
They pretty much lost their cool when they had all those like immigrants from other countries come over, and they stopped being Britain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like a conglomerate of.
So Tiger Kitty is kept up with her British ancestry. She hasn't given up that when she came over here to the U.S.
That's why Norway still rocks, because Norway doesn't allow just any fucking person to come into their country and live there.
Yeah, but you know what? Norway also, because they speak Norwegian, and there's two different dialects in Norwegian, you have to be able to speak the language in Norway. They don't have, and they're not like Norwegian only country, but they're like everything is still pretty much Norwegian. So now my mom's Norwegian. I can go over to Norway with a Norwegian visa, but one of the requirements is that you have to learn Norwegian, which makes sense because they don't, have everything in English. The same thing with Finland.
We don't require people that come over to America to learn English, do we? You think Britain requires people to learn English?
We kind of do. Not officially. No. But you'll notice that, of course, it's either English or Spanish in the United States.
But
if you don't know English, which is the de facto language of the internet, it's really hard to get anything done.
De facto language of the internet? What? You think the internet is only in English?
Most everything on the internet is in English. Oh yeah, Spanish is
you're looking in English.
Yeah, maybe where you're browsing.
Yeah, there's other places that they do offer it.
Other languages. If you do like some Spanish, and you typed in like some Spanish phrases that you were looking for, you'd get a ton of Spanish results, and you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
But it's because you typed in the words in English that you get English results.
Fortunately, because of some of the Italian I know, I'm able to translate a lot of Spanish. I only took like first year Italian, which I kind of forgot a lot of it, but some of the words I remember from the vocabulary, and then I can kind of stitch things together.
Oh, that's
between
cool.
Spanish and Italian. So I call it Spitalian.
Nice, Michelle.
Italian.
Well, I remember being like in elementary, and we had to learn, sign language and a little bit of Spanish because when we did the Pledge of Allegiance,
Right.
For the other students. So yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Really?
I
Yeah.
tried to learn sign language, but because of my eyesight, it was really hard to learn it. I did not do good in the sign language
Pledge of
class.
Allegiance was hard to learn. Can you recite it for us real quick?
Right now, at this very moment, I can't because I don't remember all of it. But yeah, I just vaguely remember.
Michelle.
But as far as the sign language, I do remember
Michelle,
most of the alphabet.
Yeah.
I think I can say it with you guys if we all did it. Michelle, do you remember the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure.
I remember it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for which it stands under one nation, indivisible.
Nope.
I thought you screwed up too.
Yeah, no.
That's bad.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands.
Okay.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all. Yeah.
I figure under God came in on that. Under God.
You got the republic as well. Yeah.
Right.
Can't forget the republic.
Maybe because the United States don't feel like a republic anymore. It feels like it's an aristocracy.
Well, when people pick and choose what words they want to say in the Pledge of Allegiance, you kind of get what you pay for.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It's a choice now, right? To say the God part, right? Isn't it an option or something? I don't know.
I think so.
It's like an option, right? It's optional. We didn't have that option as a kid, but I mean, people do now. So
that might be, Gianni. That might be. It makes sense because with central auditory processing disorder, sign language may be something that the people with CAPD and the hard of hearing can benefit from.
I remember for elementary school, I had to learn "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" in sign language.
I want to know.
I remember most of it.
What happens when...
That's funny because that's what Michelle sung for you for your birthday. But it was "We wish you a happy birthday."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right, we took the "We Wish You a Merry Christmas."
Wish you a happy birthday.
We wish you a happy birthday.
You gotta go back and watch your happy birthday video, bud.
I thought it was a regular one. I didn't know. Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Good tidings to you and to your friends. Good tidings this birthday for you and your friends. We wish you a happy birthday. We wish you a happy birthday. We wish you a happy birthday.
That's why I put in that Christmas. I put in a Merry Christmas song with it.
That makes sense.
I know.
They're just all over the place and had a bit of a wild birthday. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back to rewatch it. But yeah, we wish you a merry birthday, anyone whose birthday it is today.
I think it was a lot better than the traditional birthday song, which is...
I like it, Michelle. It's
been reused so many times.
Yeah, I'm with it. I like it. Yeah, it's been done over, Been done so many times. I agree. Who likes to sit there anyway? Well, so the people are singing "Happy Birthday." Like, who really likes to sit through that either? No one really likes to sit through that.
Yeah. When I get to the fucking part where we're just all talking again.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to sit there for like the 45 seconds feeling. I don't know. It's just me.
Yeah. So I mean,
it was a great video though, Michelle. Great video. Thank you.
So the thing is that like I said, as far as sign language goes, guys, I'm going to be honest when I say it. I did try to learn how to do sign language, American Sign Language. What you need to do by sight with a trainer. And the problem was I kept missing so many signs because of my eyesight.
You kept putting up the middle finger, didn't you? And they told you
in fact, there's a lot of things that I would still like to understand with sign language. Is I understand it's actually was designed, I believe, by the French. It's not actually American design.
Why is it called American Sign Language?
Probably
Well,
because
it is.
probably
Yeah,
because
there's
it's a
different versions.
dialect of sign language.
Yeah, there's different versions of it. I inquired a person, like an Asian person, and yeah, there's like the American signs are different from the ones that Japanese use. And
Did you say you acquired an Asian person?
no, no. I may have. I encountered one. I acquired some
It's
information.
just like with Braille.
Yeah.
Braille's kind of the same way. If you ever see Braille, like in Chinese, Japanese Braille, Korean Braille.
Letting things slip.
You're really cocked right now.
I mean, there has to be some changes because it's for America.
Forgot about
it
that.
was pretty easy to add the W because the W was used in our language. Where the original Louis Braille, he didn't have a W in the original Braille because the French don't have a W. Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that's why if you look at this, the way Braille is using a pattern, you'll notice that W is kind of like in a weird position as far as the dot order, which is dots 2, 4, 5, 6 instead of dots. Let's see.
So like when French people say oui, well, that means yes. How do they spell that?
Yes.
Yeah, how do they spell that if they don't have a W? How would they
spelled
spell
O-U-I. O-U-I.
Oh, okay. We O-U-I.
We.
O-U-I. We. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Whereas Germans, Norwegians, and many other Scandinavian countries say the word ja. You know, for example, in Norwegian and Swedish, it's J-A. The J has a y sound.
Yeah.
So it's ja, not ja. Don't say ja. Oh, that's wrong. That's not what the J means. It's not the sound it makes.
Yeah, I would talk to some Swedish people, Michelle, and they would always say yump instead of jump. They would say yump. You got the yump.
Yep.
I could. Yeah, they pronounce the J as a Y. They'd say yump.
Yep.
Yeah. Weird.
It's like we use the word yeah, Y-E-A-H. It's actually our version of ya, J-A. So, it's just we add ia time to say yeah. Or some people say yup.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I used to have a teacher who'd get so mad. He'd be like, you answer the question, you'd say, yeah. And he'd say, what? And I'd say, yeah. What? Yeah. And until you say yes. Oh, that's not a word. Okay. It is to me.
So it's interesting that all those years of all those British TV shows coming to the United States.
Yeah, here, let me translate it
for
you. Yeah means yes. You never hear me say yeah. It means yes. You don't need to say what. You can just move on.
Ain't a word. Like, oh, you just used it as one.
Actually, ain't is a word. It actually
does exist. Figure it out later. I'm going to question your teaching credentials because you can't even figure this shit out.
It is a regionalized localization or not. That's actually what it means, or earned. But for some reason, it was easier to say ain't.
Yeah.
Michelle, did any teacher ever slap your hands?
You are not telling me the truth. I say you ain't telling me the truth.
That's a good
question.
As
I said, that's a regionalized localization, which is absolutely fine.
Hold on. Hey, Michelle.
What?
When you were in school, did they have a corporal punishment? Like when did you or any of your classmates get hit with a ruler or got like a paddle? Did they have that when you went to school?
They didn't have that in Connecticut, but they did have it down there in Texas.
Oh wow!
What happened in Texas?
I
don't
know. Ask Savannah. She's the one in here that's from Texas. She knows.
I don't know. Ask Savannah. She's the one that got hit. And
I mean, Savannah's a bit younger. I don't know if they had that when she went to school. Yeah.
No, I mean, I was not here in Texas when I was in school, so.
Oh, yeah.
But growing up, no, I didn't experience any of that.
Nice. Well, at least we all seem to have.
Yeah,
I didn't.
No, they weren't.
In some southern states was a the standard means of punishment.
ISS, like in school suspension. It's basically the most that they would do.
Yeah, I've had plenty of those.
Oh, I went through in-school suspension
I think we've all
twice, actually.
gone through that.
I would just fight with the principal until he gave me an OSS, and he'd call to my house to my mom, and then she'd be like, "Oh no, he's not staying home," and then it'd just be a big ordeal, and they would just decide to just let it go at that point.
Did you guys ever rush home
One
to
day,
erase your
I never did talk about what happened with the cigarette episode afterwards. That was when I spent a whole freaking week in school suspension. That sucked. All right, first of all, you sit in this old meeting room, you and a few other kids, and, you still did your homework and stuff. And what was kind of funny was the high school's radio station was next door, so we would get a chance to listen to rock and roll while we're sitting in suspension.
Yeah.
It was a little bit better.
What's up?
We had a high school radio station, or public address system, really what it was. But it was because it didn't actually transmit in radio. But we'd play music through the cafeteria and stuff. So it was kind of funny. We had this, and that was in the room right next door to the conference room where the high school suspension was done. So as I'm sitting in the high school suspension, you're listening to the DJ next door playing rock and roll music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
it made it a little better.
I've never erased the answering machine, Skynet, but I definitely have intercepted some progress reports in the mail, and a few of my older brothers have definitely pretended to be my father for some phone calls. So.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good. They kind of blackmailed me a little bit with it. They're like, I'll tell Dad about this if you don't so and so. But it was pretty good. I didn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
I tried to forge a report card once.
Yeah.
I tried my very best to stay out of trouble in school. I really did.
My principal had a little M&M machine with peanut M&Ms in there.
Right. You always go wander in the office and.
Like, Skynet, you've been getting in trouble a lot this week. I don't think it's just for the peanuts here.
Have some M&Ms to go back to class.
But what was weird though about my school I went to for middle school and high school? I didn't go there for high school because I moved to Winsted at that time. But why did Regional 7 have a Hartford telephone number? I don't understand that. All right. But anyway, here's the interesting with that. I was there when they upgraded their phone system from standard 2565s. No, wait, 565 rotary dial 5-key set.
Did you have a helping hand in upgrading it, Michelle? Did they like recruit you? Did they pull you out of class like Jimmy and have you upgrade the system for them?
Well, I mean, the thing was so cool. I mean, for a 8th grader, you're saying a button that says Hartford, and you're like, wait, we live in Winsted. How the heck did you run a phone wire all the way to Hartford? Well, today, this day and age, that's a walk in the park. I mean,
Did you guys have payphones at your school or no?
It's just a weird choice, though, how they managed to get that done. And so I pressed the Hartford button, and of course the sound quality is perfect on the phone. Going all the way to Hartford phone number? Like,
Michelle, did you ever sell candy or snacks to kids at school?
No.
Did you ever buy candy or snacks from kids at school?
You mean through fundraisers?
No.
Yeah, sometimes.
Just in general.
No.
Like if a kid was all like, "Hey, yo, I got some sodas right here. You want to buy a soda?"
Or maybe like after Halloween.
Here's a shocker you may not realize this. In 7th and 8th grade, I was still using chewing tobacco back then too.
Oh my
God.
And
huge
so one of the things was dressed up as a character day. And so I decided to take one of my cans of Cody or Skull, and I drilled 2 little holes in the can, and I hung it around my neck like my amulet.
Nice.
Of course, the
Oh my
vice
God.
or the headmaster saw that. He said, "I hope you dumped that." No. Well,
Oh,
dump
you
it in the
took out the
garbage can
spoon?
right there.
She did.
Yeah, not
did.
only that,
Oh
but she
my
wore it as
goodness.
an amulet around her neck.
So Michelle,
everybody
Michelle, I gotta ask you. I want you to think back real hard, Michelle. How did you even get started? Well, the first time you did it, how did that go? Yeah, what? How did you do this the first time, Michelle? When did you get started in
Are
it?
you talking about intimacy?
No, chewing tobacco. Chewing
Oh,
tobacco.
okay.
Yeah, you're
I
chewing
started
tobacco.
using it like I
Like,
don't
what
know.
made you-
Henry Messenger, Danny Payne got me into it.
Heavy Messenger?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It was
Was that a band or something?
and they
What's
were
What's that?
smuggling in because Henry Messenger's dad ran a food stand and he would get tobacco and stuff from his dad. And
Was that a
because
friend? Heavy Messenger? Was that one of your
we
friends,
were still
Michelle?
too young to legally get it, even though in Connecticut it
I
was
feel like it's
16 at the
Henry.
time.
I
Oh,
don't know.
And so,
gotcha.
because I didn't, I mean, my mother and father already were
You've been a
smokers,
large
so
kid.
I was
Well,
already
how did it?
I was already
Michelle-
surrounded by tobacco smoke anyway, so it wasn't
Well,
like I
Mich-
didn't have any experience with nicotine because I did.
Well, Michelle,
So-
I'm so curious. The first time you did it, though, how did that go? That's where were you? Tell me where you were, and when you tried it, how did it make you feel? Did you do it right? Did you get sick from it? Like the first time you did it, where were you?
I
How
think
did it
the
go?
first time I did it was when I guess it was introduced to me because my brother already was using it. So
Okay.
I had some
Okay.
experience with it already from my brother, but he was using Copenhagen. He still uses Copenhagen.
All right.
And I was like, ugh. I said, but this is wintergreen skull. But actually, it turns
Skull
out
is
that they were
good
actually
stuff.
mixing different tobaccos all together.
I
And,
mean, like,
it's-
like the first time you did it, Michelle. Did
in
you,
ours,
did
they
you do
were
it?
cutting tobacco with other types of tobacco.
Fentanyl.
I think I was in the bathroom, and that's when the kid ran up to it because it was out to me. Hey, you want a pinch of this? I'm like, because I know what it was from my brother. I said, yeah, okay.
So yeah, when you did it your first time,
It was
like,
a
did
mix
you-
of Silver Creek, Skull, because Kodiak didn't come into existence at that time.
Let's film.
And
Oh,
a little
that's
bit of
Kodak.
Copenhagen mixed in
Remember.
together. It was, ooh. I didn't know
So
if I
did-
liked it or hated it or what.
So did you just take a piece of it, Michelle, and just start
Yeah, a
chewing
small
on it?
pinch like I
Did-
usually do now. Just sucked on it
Okay.
like I do now.
Did he tell you to swallow it, or did he tell you to spit it out?
They didn't tell me to do either one. They said it's up to you.
Oh, that's why you swallow it. Okay.
I just sucked on it and swallowed the juices like I do now.
Your brother didn't even help.
Oh no!
Made me poo nice and minty.
How did you know?
How would
How
you?
did you know? How did you know?
So it must have been early in late 7th grade I started getting into it. But, I mean, if somebody asked me today if I would still do it, I recommend that kids mess around with it today, I would say, ideally no, but I understand when people
Does it hurt?
do.
Here you go.
So I'm not going to sit there and say to a kid,
So Michelle, what if?
Here's your own amulet.
So Michelle, what if an 8th grader asked you to buy like them chewing tobacco? Would you buy it for him?
no.
Oh,
Would
That's-
you know what? You couldn't do
That
it.
could-
You
that
couldn't do
could
it.
result-
Here you go, and you know.
That could
It's not
result
gonna kill
in
you.
worse than expulsion. That would be like you could end up going to juvie hall for selling something like that, because
Well, you wouldn't
I
go
was
to
a minor
juvie
at
hall.
the time, or pretty close to minor, and just barely above the legal age that we could buy it. And I didn't want to go to juvie hall. No. God, no.
Juvie hall. Never heard it called that.
Yeah, because it's illegal. You can't sell anything to minors under 16.
All right. Well, you wouldn't sell it to them, Michelle. You would just take their money, go into the store, purchase it for them, and come back out and just give it to them.
My mother would
give you
have
the money.
brained me if I did that. But the thing is that I wouldn't do that. No.
That's good. That's good,
My
Michelle.
mother would brain me, guys.
But the thing is that, like I said, I mean, I was surrounded by cigarettes in my parents' house. My father was smoking Moors. My mother was smoking Marlboros. My dad used to smoke Pall Malls. The thing is you see all this tobacco. I could have easily grabbed cigarettes if I wanted to do the same thing, but I just didn't get into the cigarette thing. Maybe because I had to keep staring at my mother's ashtray every day and see all those piles of cigarette butts in there. Like, yuck. This is dirty.
Were they chain smokers, Michelle? Did they chain smoke?
They did, yeah. My mother
that's
did,
crazy.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I just never got into the cigarette thing.
That's good. It's a bad habit.
Michelle, did you ever go to like a prom or anything?
Yes,
in
I
high
did.
School?
I went to 2 proms.
Oh, neat.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I went to one.
I went to
one. Yeah.
I had a girlfriend for a
one.
short time that I met at a summer camp. Her name was Susan. I went to her prom as a junior.
Nice.
In Albany, New York. That was kind of fun. And then we broke up a year later, and then the other girl, Sarah, wanted me to go to my senior prom, and I was like, oh God.
That's cool.
That was a disaster.
Did you have a lot of fun?
Because it was her friend. Here's the thing, guys. Her friend Wendy liked me too. But it's funny though, because Wendy used to put me in the crosshairs with Sarah, because they are also friends. And it's like, guys, I like both of you, but for different reasons. And
fighting them off with a stick. That's awesome, Michelle. Did you have a good time at your prom, Michelle?
I think I still have my parents' house, the cup from Susan's prom. That used to be sitting in my shelf above my computer.
Michelle, were you scared of someone kicking you in the crotch? Why'd you wear a cup? Why did you wear a cup to the prom?
No. It was a wine cup.
Oh,
well, they didn't have wine. They had water. So it was water,
sorry.
but it was a nice purple wine cup.
Gotcha. Wine glass. Gotcha.
And so that was kind of cool to see that.
Was it themed, Michelle? Did they have any themes?
I don't remember if they had a theme or not. I think it did, but I don't know what it was. Just like my prom didn't really have much of a theme.
I don't think ours did either. We just went to a restaurant and ate.
Well, we just went to a where they have proms and things, a reception center, and both proms. So it was the one in Albany, New York, was at the Albany Hilton, and the one that we went to someplace called La Ambiance. And so that was a different situation. One was in a hotel, and one was in a reception center.
What's it called? Were you ever nominated for the court? Like
no. Unfortunately, I never was.
All right. Just curious. I feel like you would have been voted in. I don't know why. I feel like people would have tried to.
I don't know what I would have been, because I was kind of the wallflower. I stayed to myself. I didn't really do anything with Sarah, because Sarah was kind of like a doing friend a favor thing, and then she had the nerve to go out there and tell everybody at the prom, me and Michelle are gonna get married. What? I'm not marrying you. Who said? Where do you come up with this shit?
Hey, hold on. No one said
Who said anything about marriage?
Yeah, hold on a minute. I ain't ready for that. I'm just getting out of high school. Yeah, hold on a minute.
The irony is that Susan and I could have gotten married, but we chose not to. Because we kind of...
Michelle, did you finger blast any of them?
No.
Prom night? Were you involved in any after-school activities, Michelle, in clubs or anything? Or
I worked in the school newspaper.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, okay. Did they call you Scoop Delaney?
No, not really. They just know I did mostly opinion editorial pieces, like I do now.
You op-eds? Nice.
On YouTube.
Op-ed.
In fact, I'm going to be doing an opinion editorial technical piece today outside on the porch.
What are you talking about? We're
going to be talking about electrical resistance and the cheap video cable, which we're using right now. And that the cheap video cable, because of the voltage drop over the 15.25 meters, and how it is affecting video quality. So, because this camera cable, because of its length, it has a resistance of 3 ohms. And that 3 ohms resistance
That's it?
Means that video, because video is only 1 volt peak to peak, I'm glad enough that there's enough signal there to maintain the proper vertical refresh and video blanking. But I noticed that both the color and the brightness is off because of that cable.
Yeah, that's
so
good. Yeah.
Because it's too much of a voltage drop to give the full 1 volt peak to peak for the video signal.
We need more ohms. We need like 8 ohms, Michelle, not 3. We need like 8.
Oh, traditional home speakers were 8 ohms, but many of them were also 4 ohms as well.
Mm-hmm.
A quick rule of thumb is for audio circuits, impedance and inductance sometimes get mixed up with resistance. Impedance is resistance for alternating current circuits, which is also interacts with inductance and capacitance. So you have a video, that's where the ohms, when the impedance in the cable is important. 75 ohms at 1,000 hertz is going to determine what the resistance of the cable is. Now,
Michelle, what's your favorite gauge wire, Michelle? I like a good, I don't know, a good 12 gauge, good 16. What's your favorite gauge wire, Michelle?
It depends on the circuit. What I like to work is usually with 18 gauge is fine for extension cords, and most of my appliances I wire up. I always go for the heavier wire.
It's thick.
Because I know that. So if the circuit says I can get away with a 24 gauge wire, I usually will go with a 20 gauge to make sure there's less voltage drop. If you decide to run a longer length than necessary.
That's smart.
So same thing when I'm wiring AC household circuits. If a circuit says in the United States that a 15 amp circuit can use 14 gauge, I'll go with a 12 or 8 or 10 gauge. The problem is that 10 gauge is a little bit heavy for a lot of outlets. Don't handle 10 gauge, but I'll use 12 gauge instead, which is about 4 millimeters, circular millimeters, which is So I mean that's because I like to tend to stick with a heavier wire than the standards, because we want to make sure that you don't have any voltage drop. Now, alternating current uses what they call a skin effect, which is very different than direct current.
Okay.
Which means that the higher the higher the frequency, more and more it's the outer skin of the wire that
if that name isn't taken,
voltage.
Someone should.
Whereas direct current will carry the currents throughout the entire copper or aluminium conductors.
Mm-hmm. What do they say? The thicker, the quicker, right? Right when it comes to the cords, Michelle?
Well, more like the thicker the wire means that there's less resistance.
Oh, okay.
Less heat as well.
Glad you like Wiggy, glad you like the background.
Thin wires will fucking...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Heat up.
You gotta have that good casing and coating around it. Yeah, definitely.
And that's another thing, too, even though that doesn't normally affect most people, is that as the wire gets warmer, the resistance increases accordingly. But it's not necessarily a linear line. It's kind of a curve. So as the wire gets hotter, the resistance slowly increases, and then it increases to the point where the wire has a significant drop, which increases more resistance, which causes the wire to get hotter again.
That's why they say, Michelle, that's why they say drop it like it's hot, because of the wire. Because it drops when it gets hot. So they say drop it like it's hot. Isn't that right? Or
no. But it means okay.
No. Okay.
I can tell you can test this with a resistive load.
I wonder where that term comes from. Drop it like it's hot.
Well, let me just explain this. Because the fact is, as the wire gets warmer, it actually increases the resistance. And as the resistance increases, the wire gets warmer still. So it can actually go to thermal runaway.
That's no good.
And this is a bigger problem for larger circuits. Like heating appliances like electric baseboard heaters.
Mm.
Which is you got a huge steady current because it's a resistor.
Yeah.
I mean, electric baseboard radiators are resistors. Okay, they're air-cooled resistors. So that means that even if the radiator says it's rated for 20 amps, you might want to use a 10 gauge because it's going to give that extra capacity than just going to sort of the standard 20 gauge wire, which is really rated for about 25 amps.
So Michelle, the other day I was doing some spring cleaning, right? And I noticed in some of my outlets there was some dust. So what would be the best way to get that dust out of there? With like a paper clip in the outlet?
Oh my gosh!
Seriously.
Water. Spray bottle.
Like a paper clip or something?
No.
Or like,
No, you want to spray water in there.
Well, I
You gotta use-
and then
turn
use the paper clip?
I
or
turn up
just
the
water?
power of the consumer unit first
Water,
before
just
you do
spray it
that.
on it.
Turn off the
Okay.
breaker or pull the fuse first. But if
I don't
you-
know how to do all
and
that. So I
then
just want
you
to get
can
it
probably
cleaned. I don't
use
wanna
like one of those little,
fiddle with
those
my
like
fuses.
little keyboard computer vacuums to suck out the dust.
Oh, well, I was just gonna like dig it out or scrape it out or something.
Well, most people don't really worry about dust in the outlets. There's usually not that much.
Yeah, I know. I get OCD sometimes with the cleanings. I get a little OCD.
That's funny.
Yeah, the deep
But
cleanings.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I was just gonna scrape it out with
Well,
like a
you
paper
should have
clip.
seen when I was showing the house a little bit yesterday in the video. You
Hmm.
saw all the pile of paperwork by the speaker, and I thought that was a little bit much. And then Ed
Well-
decided to kind of volunteer to help me start cleaning up the paperwork. Which
You have
is
a
lot
paper
of
shredder,
old
Michelle?
documentation we don't even need anymore. No, we don't have a paper shredder. No, we do actually,
have a
but
shredder?
we do, but it's not set up right now. It's
You can just do it by hand, right? You just tear it by hand if you need
yeah, usually.
Mhm.
For the
What
credit
is-
card, for credit cards, debit cards, I just use
What
a
is
pair of
all-
scissors and cut them up a lot.
to. What's all your paperwork? What is it? Is it like mail, junk
bills,
mail? Is it-
old utility bills and things like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That were just put in there, filed away for records that
After a certain amount of
check
time, you
out
just
was
toss them
there,
in.
and yeah, when still looks good. Yeah,
You don't mind electronically. I just throw them away when they come in the mail. I just keep my tax receipts.
yeah. How you doing?
That would be great to get it cleaned out, Michelle. It's always a good feeling, you know what I mean, to do spring cleaning.
Well, that's what I
and
was saying. It's
organizing,
just
decluttering.
So you remember
Yeah.
the corner I showed in the camera where all the paperwork was. Me and Ed got rid of all that paperwork because it was the
Nice.
old stuff. We threw a lot of it into bags, bring downstairs to the dumpster.
Well,
And
that's
I
good.
need to ask Krista if she can give me a hand to bring some of the small bags down to the dumpster because we got so many of them. Because we're trying to clean up the house. Let's get JoJo on camera here.
I would say just throw them over the
Get Jojo up here.
edge, or the balcony.
I was just going to suggest that. Yeah, if
Yeah,
it's just
they're
paper.
Exactly.
Yeah, just
Just
toss it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, no.
I think as you can see outside, it looks dreadful out there.
Nah, it don't look too
Not
bad. We got a
bad.
cloudy day over here, It's cloudy over here. We had some rain yesterday. So last
Hasn't
night. You guys
started
are probably
raining
getting
yet.
it. Yeah, you guys are probably getting it now. It wasn't too bad though. Nothing wrong with a little rain. You guys probably, need it.
It's like
Deb said we had a
sprinkles.
hunting cabin up north,
Yeah, it's
and
not
every
gonna be
time
bad.
we used the oven,
We didn't get too much. It
We
was
get
really
what
light
you
rain,
can.
heavy rain for like 5-10 minutes, and more
well,
light
it
rain.
sounds to me like you got an open conductor where the insulation is starting to fray off and it's touching the creating a loop effect when you're touching the stove. I definitely would have checked that stove to make sure it was proper and safe. I'll listen and stay in the side chat. Okay. That's one thing about American wiring is TNCS is you want to make sure that you have a good solid earth bonded connection. The United States does not use TT, it uses TNCS, which is the same as the UK now. Some older regions in the UK are TT, but TNCS is the most standard grounding system.
Yeah, I just take pliers, Michelle, and rip that third prong off of my plugs. Isn't that the earth? Isn't that for the earth? The ground?
But it turns
That's
out
the ground.
Italy's system, which even though it's TT,
Okay.
they have really taken earthing to the extreme. They'll run heavy gauge electrical earth wire all around a house, buried 8 feet down in the ground, instead of just poking a rod in the earth. And it's pretty heavy duty earthing right there.
I only do that at the beach, Michelle, with the sand.
That's some heavy duty earthing, guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're welcome, JoJo. Anyway, so the thing is that I think it says, "Oh, China ever did get this country." He said, "I said if they ever get this country, they would immediately want to rewire it to 240 or 50 cycles because that's the main power in mainland China. They're not going to stick at 60 cycles at 120."
Stick it to the man.
United States, Canada, Mexico, and Japan are the only countries that have such a low earth mains voltage.
Earth main?
It's not going anywhere. He's in the bedroom right now. So,
Michelle, when you were a kid, did you ever play any pranks?
No, not really.
Nothing at all. Do you remember anybody playing pranks?
I remember people playing pranks, but I never did it.
What were the pranks that other people played in your class?
Mostly, people I know would do phone call pranks, crank calls. Yeah.
Right.
How ironic.
But I never really
right.
thought that was so cool. I never thought that was cool at all. I thought that was mean, actually.
Wait, who thought it was cool? Your brother?
No, she said she never thought it was
my brother
cool.
didn't do it. My sister didn't necessarily do it either, as far as I remember. But the kids I knew did do it, you know.
People that you didn't have, like people put whoopee cushions or joy
fun. I'm
buzzers.
like, not for the person receiving the phone calls, it's not fun. I listened to in chat. Dab said it's like playing a video game with computer with love space. You can only go see far in the distance. Well, you know, Dabs, one of the things is, please understand, is that we had to zoom the camera picture up enough to fill the background. The camera is using standard NTSC, a 640 by 480.
How far away from the window is it, Michelle?
The background camera does not do widescreen. It's not an AHD camera. Okay, it's a composite NTSC camera, so it's the way it is. But this camera here on the wall is NTSC as well. This is NTSC as well. All these cameras are NTSC, except for the PAL camera, which is in the other studio. Yeah, I don't know, something can be funny. I still would like to get some more PAL cameras, but those I have to import directly from China. And that takes a while to get. So I said, screw it, just buy the American versions because they're already here. At least these cameras I can plug into a VCR or they can record them directly to tape without having to run a protocol converter. Pictures are full standard D1 format, so for NTSC. And 950 TV lines, which is about 425 interlaced, which pretty well fills up the American TV screen. Unlike the original 380 camera had, which is obviously it didn't fill in the whole screen. It had a lot of loss in the video signal. Well, I have a question. If the American television screen is 525 lines, what's the actual viewable range? It's about 475 lines.
480.
Oh, okay.
480p.
Because the overscan, because of vertical refresh or retrace.
Michelle, what's your favorite Chinese company?
I don't have any.
Are you a Nissan fan? A Sony? I can't think of it anymore.
Companies,
Kawasaki,
Nissan.
Nissan. You don't
Samsung.
have a favorite?
I would have to say if I had to pick companies,
I like Toshiba.
overseas companies' products that I like, I would have to say it's Panasonic.
Panasonic, that's a good one.
Because they made decent printers.
It's a good choice.
I like the KXP 1124 and the KXP 1124i.
Had some good
24 pin
products.
Narrow carriage. And they also made the wide carriage versions too.
Yeah.
Epson,
your
which
favorite?
is not necessarily American because it's made by Seiko, made the first successfully available dot matrix printer.
Let's just turn this into a China show. Michelle, what's your favorite Chinese food?
I don't really have. Oh, vegetable fried rice. I do like that.
Ah, you do have one. Okay. Vegetable fried rice.
Yeah.
Have you ever used a Chinese finger trap before?
Let's see. Mojo asks a question. He says, "How you supposed to use public figures?" It took basically a lot of man work and helpers to get him into Nixon's death. I don't know.
We're talking about China now, though. We're not.
I don't know anything about that. That's a great question. When it comes to government figures, they put a big, giant political wall around them because they don't want to deal directly with the unwashed masses.
I can't blame them. And speaking of unwashed masses, Michelle, have you ever played Chinese checkers before?
No, not recently.
No? I've never learned it either, but I hear it's easy. What about mahjong? You ever play mahjong before, Michelle?
No.
Oh, pretty fun. It's a tile game.
The tile game. I do know. I had it on my computer, but I never understood any of it.
Michelle, you like math. Have you ever done Sudoku? You ever played Sudoku or done a Sudoku puzzle?
Have I ever had any orange chicken? No.
Orange chicken's delicious.
Some people would probably say it's too sweet, but I like it.
Well, just depends, I guess, where you get it from, yeah. I like
Well, understand, Mojo, maybe you wrote that 5 minutes ago, but you have to realize that I don't always look at the chat and respond right away. Sometimes I'll be talking and then I just happen to flip my eyes over and see the side chat.
What other Chinese food is there?
Michelle, next time we hang out, we're going to go get Mexican food, Michelle, because I'm going to fucking bust your Mexican banana. I know you've been there before.
I don't know if I want Mexican food. I don't feel like having my stomach...
Well, you're going to get it, girl.
I don't feel like having my stomach on fire.
No, it's not going to be spicy, I'm sure, Michelle, but it'll, you know.
Michelle, you went to a Chinese buffet. Okay?
Right.
Now, I would argue that Chinese food...
I thought the broccoli chicken was actually pretty good, even though I had more of the broccoli than the chicken.
Yes, Mexican food's not all spicy, Michelle. Yeah, I'd say more Chinese food, Kung Pao chicken and stuff like that is definitely more spicy.
Actually, there are some Chinese food that is spicy.
Yeah, definitely.
Just as there's Mexican food that's also spicy. If you add chili sauce to orange chicken, it is bomb sweet and spicy. It's so boys up there putting you off.
I like tangy more than sweet. I don't think it's personally that sweet, but sometimes like the orange sauce is more orangey than tangy.
Yeah.
Like Paul said, it's all about where you go.
Yeah, if they use the fresh, like they put the peels and stuff in there.
Yeah, but you know what? But if you go to a Chinese buffet in China, you eat dog. Unfortunately, in cat.
I mean, what's wrong with, it's a meat, it's an animal. Who cares, it's like eating a horse.
First of all, I own a dog. Every time she says this, she never talks about eating cats. only talks about
But that's
dogs.
just it.
Dog
China,
rat,
they'll,
dog
anything that is edible, they'll eat it. Literally, I'm not kidding you. They'll eat tarantulas. They'll eat spiders. They'll eat.
Yeah, I wouldn't, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's an animal. It's like eating a cow. People eat cows, but I mean, someone's gonna get mad if someone eats a dog.
Then what are you gonna say? What if they start eating people? You're gonna be like, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, I wouldn't agree with that, but people are people and animals are animals, right? I wouldn't agree with someone eating
cannibalism.
No, that's cannibalism.
Does exist in some countries. It does exist in some countries.
Like the food chain, though. You know.
I don't know. It's slippery slope.
Slippery slope. I mean, if it's not like it's not like a pet, you know. If it's like just a stray animal or something, yeah. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, then it's gonna be a stray homeless person that just needed a place.
Oh no humans, no.
It's gonna be the guy at the train station that's been sleeping.
Oh no,
wild trains.
No, I wouldn't condone to that. Yeah. Would not condone that whatsoever. No. Would not condone that.
So let me ask you guys, what's your favorite meat product you like to eat?
Meat product?
Products.
What does that mean? Like hamburger, steak?
Yes.
Our meat-like product.
Oh, well, this is real basic.
Yeah, red meat's good. I like chicken, poultry, beef. Those are my two favorites.
I guess I like pork.
Pork's good as well, yeah. Pork is good as well.
Pork's okay, but ham, which is also a form of pork, I don't like ham that much.
Ham's alright.
I would say that probably rarely ever.
I don't know why that is, but
I'm more of like a rib guy, pork ribs or.
I like pork, but I don't like ham.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either.
What about pulled pork? You like it when it's like shredded up, marinated?
Well, no, I don't know. I mean, I'll just eat pork, like pork chops. They're fine. I think the difference between pork and ham really has to do with smoking of the meat. Pork isn't smoked, ham is smoked. But I also do not like chicken.
Really?
At least not that much.
Really?
Beef, yeah, it's okay. I like beef a little more than the other two, but it's not like when I was a little kid and I would eat hamburgers and stuff like that. Didn't give it done. I do, because I really, after a while, I get enough beef. I get so sick of beef, too. It was like, steaks were good for a while. Yeah. I had a lot of steaks. And
in the Joe Biden economy, I just don't have money for it.
I just can't buy it anymore. Pat, that's something else.
It's the fucking craziest thing, Michelle. My dad hated chicken. Never ate chicken that I've ever seen in my lifetime. That's like a common thing. Like, it's either people like beef or chicken. Like, most people don't like seafood, but like everybody eats chicken. I've never seen the man eat chicken once in my life. It fucking boggles my mind. I've never come across that before. Only with
maybe
him.
Your father just doesn't like the taste of chicken.
Yeah, I guess he would eat turkey at Thanksgiving time. He'd eat like fish and beef and stuff. It was crazy. Never come across it.
Well, did you ever ask him why he didn't eat chicken? I bet the reason is pretty simple, really.
I don't know. I always ask my mom.
Maybe it's the texture of the chicken, because chicken has a texture all its own. That puts me off is the greasiness. I will eat some chicken once in a while, but it's not my main love.
Weird.
Because remember when I was at KFC with noodles, we eat chicken. We eat inside. Well, Ed insisted eating in the car. I don't know why.
Didn't want to move.
He could easily gotten in the building just as I did. If he needed help getting the walker to get up the stoop, I would have been like, okay, I got up the stoop. Yeah, put it down for you to use it to help you get up the stoop. But he insisted sitting in the car, and which I thought kind of sucked, because he actually said, well, I wanted to take some chicken home for takeout. I'm like, oh, okay.
Do you think the chicken from KFC is really greasy?
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't find myself eating it, but
I haven't had it in years. KFC.
Yeah.
It's not that good anymore.
Yeah, that's what people said. One of my family members told me the last time they had it, they ate the chicken and there was like they had like a striped bone or something like. I'm like,
Oh.
yeah. That's
So,
weird.
like I said, as far as the chicken goes, I mean the extra crispy outer skin was good. The chicken
Michelle,
itself
don't they
was
use
pretty
Oh, I'm
plain.
sorry, were you gonna say something, Savannah?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I would just prefer biscuits.
Yeah, the biscuits are fair.
Biscuits
Biscuits are
and
good,
honey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Buttermilk biscuits,
I
I
like
guess.
all the
Mashed
sides.
potatoes suck though, guys. Like they use like powdered
Like
shit.
Powder,
potatoes,
yep, it's
yeah.
from a bag, yep.
The baked beans are good though. I don't know if you guys ever tried the baked beans from there. Those are pretty good.
Oh yeah, they're okay, but I think
Coleslaw.
they come from a can too. But I mean, yeah,
These are good
I think
brands.
it's really.
Now,
Okay, I
Savannah,
haven't had it
when
in
you
years.
eat biscuits, do you make them fresh yourself, or do you use a mix, or do you just buy them pre-made?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. I said.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. The last time I made them, I mean, it was just store bought. So yeah.
Yeah, I like I
So-
get the ones you hit on the counter. You like hit
So
them on the
something
counter.
like
Yeah, those
They're
are-
like pops.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what do
Those
you
are good.
do? Just buy the dough, like the Pillsbury dough, or you just go ahead buy something like biscuit mix and just mix the water and put it in the oven?
No, Bisquick.
Bisquick, yeah.
The one in the can, the pre-made.
The
They're already
dough.
in little circles. Have you made those, Michelle?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
But
okay.
I certainly do enjoy buttermilk biscuits. I think I tried making them fresh one time. They came out a little dry. I think it was an Arkansas Prices for the Blind when I decided to make buttermilk biscuits. They came out a little dry, but they weren't bad.
Cooking directions for the blind.
Well, maybe one day you can revisit that. You know, I remember one stream where you and Krista were doing I believe it was cupcakes, or
Yep.
was it a cake or something?
Saccharine
Yeah, it was
cupcakes.
pretty cool.
Yeah. That was some messy cupcakes. I think the killer was the frosting. I think the frosting is really what overdid it. It's kind of like the commercial with the Haagen-Dazs. I ate all the Haagen-Dazs. It was good. I ate all the cupcakes, but the frosting wasn't so good. Too much cornstarch in there. Oh my god, there's way too much cornstarch in that.
Oh, so you probably just didn't have enough sweetener in it then.
I think there are things I would change a bit in the recipe. I think there was enough saccharin. The problem is that it was trying to find something else to substitute for the extra bulkiness of regular table sugar. And I think that's why I thought the cornstarch would work. Cornstarch didn't work. Cornstarch had its own taste. The frosting certainly was not very sweet tasting. It was...
Yeah, usually you just buy, unless you make like a, what's that thing called? The buttercream frosting, Michelle? You usually just buy frosting, unless you, like, the only homemade frosting I've ever seen made was like a real thin glaze. Like you'd put over like a cake or cookies to decorate.
My mom
them,
makes
like,
a bun
mix
cake
up
with
to 'em.
that. Yeah, she'll make a thin glaze with conventional sugar.
Yeah,
And,
but that's for like decorating though. I wouldn't like frost a cupcake or a cake with that. You know, that's
Right.
more like something to stick it. You know, make it stick.
I've seen people do it though. I mean, even commercially, I mean, the Hostess cupcakes are done like that with a glaze. They're not done.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's like a hard frosting, Michelle. It's not like it's like a hard.
It's
frosting.
definitely not, but it's definitely not a
Or
glaze. I
whatever.
mean, in a sense, like it's not like a fresh glaze, but it's like even the Hostess cupcakes. So you'll notice, like the double spoon ones, that frosting gets kind of firm after a while, and then you're eating it, and you can sort of almost tastes like it would be kind of heavier, like a chunky texture. It's not quite that heavy, but it's
That's just getting like expired. I think at that point, I don't know if it's. Yeah, that might just be like milk. You know, it like curdles.
I mean,
like the
as far
cream?
as
I don't know.
cooking with marijuana, here's what I would think is, like, you can bake it, like you grind up the buds and then you just mix it in. And then
Oh
you
yeah,
bake
most people
it.
turn it in, extract it, and turn it into butter, and then use the butter to do the cooking.
Now,
I mean, not
one question is I'm wondering in some cases if you should
The oil.
brown the buds in a saute pan so that help increase the THC output, and then put them into your brownies or your donut mix or cookie mix. Because I'm thinking that would help to increase the THC. A little bit of browning of the buds. Because it is a spice. It is literally a spice.
Well, that's what happens when you put it in the oven and bake it.
Actually, it's an herb. I'm sorry. It's an herb.
Fight your butt,
Because
guys.
remember, an herb does not release the herb flavor until it's actually heated. Okay?
I don't think that would be such a good idea to like do that first. I mean, I've never done it personally myself, but
I mean, it gets that way when you put it in the mix and then cook it in the oven. It gets heated up. You don't need to like preheat it up. Like when it's being cooked. Yeah, I guess that's when that would happen. I've never.
Right. That's true. You can just I suspected the same thing as if you're regular standard baking at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just put it in the oven, and it should actually help to release the THC in the cannabinoids. Cannabinoids.
Michelle, first of all, you don't know anything about cooking with marijuana, so I don't want to hear you talk about it at all. All right? I don't want to hear your opinion on it. You just don't know.
You don't want to talk about it at all, then how do you learn?
Information.
You got to learn by asking questions. Ask questions with boldness. Ask the questions that you really need to know the answers to.
So from what I know, the best way to cook with marijuana is to put it into like a butter and use that for cooking, because the THC or cannabinoids, I don't know, like sticks to the fat. So you want to use like a slow cooker, and you'll put like weed and
that would work fine if the recipe requires butter. But if it doesn't, which most do, most baking recipes always use butter that I know of.
Exactly.
Even if you're making a homemade mayonnaise cake, you're still using the fat from the mayonnaise to actually.
That's not a real thing. That can't
mayonnaise cake?
That was a common thing back in the 20s during the Great Depression. Because mayonnaise is one of the few things that you can get on your ration coupons. So people use mayonnaise. Because there was a shortage of oil. There was a shortage of eggs. And the mayonnaise would be used instead because it contained oil in the eggs, which was available on the food rations. Some people use mayonnaise instead of oil and eggs separately to bake the cake. Some people say the cake is still pretty good. I came across it in one cooking show, and I said, that's interesting. I never thought about using mayonnaise for cooking.
I'm not a big mayonnaise fan.
Yeah, that's really
certain things.
I don't think I've heard that.
No. Not a big mayo guy.
Have you made banana bread before, Shaw?
What's that?
Banana bread?
I have had banana bread, yes.
Have you ever made it? Have you ever made banana
like bread? Homemade. Oh, it's so good.
Or zucchini bread?
I do know it smells good, though. And I certainly had it. I've eaten it.
Basic ingredients as well.
Here's one.
Not many ingredients.
Here's one Great Depression staple that is still made today. And you know what that is? Macaroni and cheese.
Ah. Yeah.
Either you make it fresh or you make it from a box. I've tried both kinds.
Which one do you like better?
The fresh is better, but that's kind of a bit more work to do. People will often use a little bit of breadcrumbs to give it a little bit of extra bulkiness to it. It's pretty good when baked right. So, have you been stealing? No, I don't use mayonnaise myself. But as like I said, we haven't been taking any of the packets or anything either. Ed has mayo in the refrigerator for his sandwiches, but I don't use it myself. I just thought it was very interesting when I first heard of this mayonnaise chocolate cake. I was like, what the heck? It was on a cooking show on the Food Network where I forgot what the name of the show was, but it was really interesting. It had a British commentator. And then Buddy Velasco from Cake Boss TLC was doing the same kind of show later on. I think the British woman show was better because she was willing to go into places that were really out on the fringe, whereas Buddy didn't quite go that far into some places. Like she went into an earth-centric bakery and who would try to cook things as be in compliance with Mother Earth as much as can, but the bakery was doing one thing that wasn't so earthy, and that was as they were using bleached flour. And she said, well, you know what? Since you are so earth-based, maybe you should use unbleached flour. And the woman was like, I don't know how that would work. And she said, well, why don't you try making some of these bakery goods with some of this unbleached flour that I just gave you, and you could check it out. And it came out better than it was when using bleached flour. So the owner was very happy that she gave her that suggestion because the pastries had an excellent texture to them. They tasted better. They looked better. They still gave it a nice color. But it was less, she said, it's less environmentally disastrous.
I don't like bleach in my food, Michelle.
I don't like well, no, but bleached flour was very common. It's very common for bakery because they like the whiteness of the flour.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm not one of those woke people, but they like their flour to have a certain consistency. And
yeah, I noticed.
The woman thought since the flour wasn't bleached, that was going to change the look of her pastries.
Race-oriented now.
Oh, white supremacist bakery, Michelle? Is that what that was? They wanted the pure white flour?
I don't know.
That mixed bullshit. I hear you. That's cool. That's good. What were we talking about baking, Michelle? I know you're a pudding gal. When's the last time you had? Well, never mind. I should be encouraging that.
Actually, Michelle's more of the homemaker. Actually,
homemaker.
I'm more of a homemaker in the sense that I'm constantly have to do the same things with Michelle because we live in the same body. But Michelle's the homemaker. I'm a little more into the technical stuff like Michelle is, but she's more. When it comes to domestic things, Michelle tends to take care more of those. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. Viewership is pretty low today. I think we had a peak of about 11 people. So somebody must be doing another stream when I'm doing my stream this morning.
Yeah, it's the weekend, Michelle. People like to sleep in sometimes. I would have liked to, but. It happens.
Michelle, I'd say it's pretty safe to assume that people on Saturdays are not hanging around their computer until the nighttime if they don't have anything to do.
And we are going to be here tonight, so.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yes, I said I would.
Are we going to check out my music videos, maybe?
No, because we'll be here on YouTube, not on Twitch.
You can just watch it.
But we're going to be using the same setup as we did last time, so I don't have to change my restream. Oh, Michelle, don't worry about it. Just a little typing of a new few letters in the end. It's not going to mess you up that bad. Just make sure to turn off the Twitch side of it so that if the idiot Yam Ranch tries to come on again, you won't get your Twitch channel banned. I know. That's what I'll do. Because I don't want to get... That's why I don't do the night shows on Twitch, because... with phone calls, because of that reason.
Did you say the N-word sometimes?
No, I don't.
Well, you did. You're like Donald Trump saying that he didn't say grab it by the pussy over and over and over again.
By the way, talking about that,
we know you did.
What was just brought up by Dabs, if I was a baker, I wouldn't have a problem making a wedding cake. It wouldn't bother me. You know.
Like a penis cake?
Yeah, would you
I
make a
would
penis cake,
definitely
Michelle?
be more than willing to do that.
Would you be more than willing to make any size penis cake if they want?
Not a penis cake, no, but I mean it's a wedding cake.
Well, that's what a gay wedding cake would be, Michelle. It would be like a penis cake. It would be a penis.
No, not necessarily. I mean, it depends on what the.
Not if they're lesbians, sure.
It depends on what the customer orders. I mean, there's things I would not make for a wedding cake, and a giant phallus is one of them.
Why is that?
Okay,
So
I mean, heart shape. I could
regular
see making a heart shaped one. That wouldn't bother me. I could see making
a heart-shaped penis,
a standard round 3-tier wedding cake. It wouldn't bother me with the supports, you know. But as far as would I be upset if somebody said I want you to put 2 men on the wedding cake, 2 male figures, probably wouldn't bother me at all. I'd be like, okay, fine, 1 here, 1 there. Of course, I would say one thing for the models that they use of those little figures. I would love to see them have, and they probably do have them, figures with different color hair, you know, so they're not all dark brown hair. Maybe, for example, if one of the 2 is blonde, it would make sense to have a blonde person and not a dark-haired person. So, the same thing with a lesbian cake. It would be the same deal. I would definitely try to really find figures that would be what the brides want. I mean,
what if the bride, Michelle, wants a rainbow penis swastika cake where each arm of the swastika is a penis and it's a different color
I've never seen anything like that before. Sorry.
No, but what if that's what the bride wants?
I don't know. I never seen that before. But
would you like for me to draw it for you?
That, I mean, if I was to get into bakery, and I did kind of like bakery, and I did kind of would like to have been working in a bakery, I just be honest, I mean, I realize the customer's paying the bills, and so you try to negotiate with them to make what they want.
Yeah, right.
I know that there are bakeries that really get uptight with the LGBTQY community, but honestly, I would say don't worry about it. You're getting your money being used to pay your bills, so if they want something, as long as it's not too ridiculous, I'd say make it.
In Night Cafe.
I definitely would have a problem. I definitely would have a real serious problem making a cake that looks like a male member. Sorry, I just don't think I could do it.
But that's what the bride wanted. You just said that
Number 1 is they may not even have a cake mold to make one.
What? There's plenty of penis cake molds. What are you talking about, Michelle?
I mean, like if somebody said, I'd like you to make a cake for Tiger Kitty that shows 2 kidneys, you know, shows the excretory system. Now you get bladder and 2 kidneys and simulated, you know, food color blood vessels and stuff. I would go, that's a little bit unusual. First of all,
just drop it on the floor.
I wouldn't even know where I would get kidney-shaped baking
floor.
pans in the first place, spring form or otherwise.
It's just a shape, Michelle. You can cut the cake to the shape.
Or you can mold it.
Well, I've seen cake decorators do something like that. Obviously, they'll start with a standard square cake, and then they'll use their knives to shape the cake to the exact dimensions.
That's what we're saying, Michelle. So will you or will you not make the penis swastika cake?
Well, okay, let's talk about the reality as far as this funny shape like a swastika. I mean, if you look at the typical shape, it's a series of L's in a 360-degree circle.
It was a good luck charm for the Indians until Hitler.
Oh, in some cultures, the symbol is used for good luck. In other countries, it's not. There was all of Hitler's and his actions that really turned it into something really nasty.
Yeah, how do you feel
the
about
point
a
is
symbol
that
being...
to make a cake, it actually would take
Right.
several steps to make it because you would have to shape it just right.
Hitler
Couldn't you
ruined a
just
lot of
cut
things
out?
for us.
Couldn't you just cut out the shape, Michelle? I mean, you could do like a giant
Right.
pan and then cut out what you don't need. I mean, it seems pretty wasteful, but probably, like you said, make a bunch
Yeah, but you know
of
what the thing is
straight lines,
that
cakes.
like I said about shaping the cake using a
You
sheet
can fit a whole
pan
bunch of...
is you don't want to have too much excessive sponge laying around either,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
because
You're
all the
right.
sponge that you end up throwing out, is costing you money. So if
Right. So you're
so,
right.
like if you're making a 10 by 12 cake, and you're only going to make a 3 by 5 penis out of the thing, you're going to be wasting all the extra sponge. So you want to try to pick
maybe you can morph something with
a
it
cake
and add
pan
it
that's
to the
closer to the size of the final product.
cake. Yeah, morph it into some cake balls.
Yeah.
Well, kidneys are probably the easiest one to shape.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting story about donut holes too. Those can be used for making the testicles.
There you go.
About what I'm talking about.
Michelle, would you consider making a penis cake for us one time?
No.
Like with your donut idea? No? Why?
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't waste my time doing that. Well, guys, speaking of wasting time, it's time to wrap it up, and I gotta use the bathroom. So, everybody, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself today.
See y'all later, guys.
And I gotta
It was a great stream, Michelle.
All right, so I gotta start some laundry. So, everybody, I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Take care.
All right, bye, guys.
Okay. Have a good day.
See you later. See you tonight at 7 o'clock.
Okay, Michelle.
Okay. Yep. Bye. Yeah, so we will have our night show tonight at 7 o'clock. Or maybe we'll make it 9 o'clock. 7 or 9, I'm not sure. Probably 7. Because there's really no reason not to. So we'll have our night show tonight. And I see it's starting to rain already. Isn't having a live camera nice? You can see it's starting to rain outside. The rain is falling on Morsel Monk's roof. It's not lovely. Yeah. But anyway, that's the new setup with the camera anyway. So we can see it's raining outside. I come from a family of builders, yes. Unfortunately, you can say we come from a family of boulders. We're also very big people. That's true. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. You have a nice day. I know it's wet outside. Stay dry. Stay safe. Don't do anything dumb. And I'll see you guys tonight around 7 o'clock or so. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys.